So here we have a math problem that involves addition, division, and multiplication. Now, in mathematics, we have problems that involve different mathematical operators. That's what these things are. These are the things we can do with numbers. Of course, we can subtract. We can also take powers with numbers. There's a lot of things we can do with numbers. And if we have a problem that has different operations involved in it, our answer could be quite different if we do the problem in different orders. In other words, we might decide, you know what, I think I'm going to add first, and then maybe I'll multiply these, and then I'll divide the results, or maybe I'll divide here, then I'll multiply here, or maybe I'll just, add these two, and then I'll divide and then multiply. So in other words, you can kind of get the gist here that the order and the way we do this problem is going to come up with, we're going to come up with different values, different answers. Of course, there's only one right answer. So what is the correct order? Well, we need to refer to this lovely little acronym right here, PEMDAS. Right? Hopefully you've heard of this. And what we're talking about here, again, is the proper order of operations. So we have these mathematical operations. What is the correct order we should do these in? Well, this is a nice little checklist for you to follow. And if you've never heard of PEMDAS, well, this is something that's absolutely critical in basic math. So let me go ahead and quickly explain it right now. All right, so these letters stand for something, and this is a checklist that goes from left to right. Okay. Now, before I tell you what this is, I'll give you a little memory aid, so you can remember this PEMDAS as I explain it, and that is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Once again, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, I'm not sure what Aunt Sally did, but we thank her for her lovely little phrase anyways. Okay, so let me go and explain this right now. So P stands for parentheses. So anytime when you're facing any problem in mathematics, if there are parentheses or these type of things, brackets, or these type of squiggly brackets like this, these are technically called grouping symbols. In other words, we can group numbers together like this. So anytime we see groups, i.e. parentheses, or these type of brackets, we're going to do what's inside of those first. Now, sometimes math problems have multiple sets of parentheses. In other words, we'll have some inner parentheses and then some brackets. So you always want to start from the inside working out. Okay, so I'm not going to make this into a full lesson on the order of operations because this topic definitely warrants that. But this is just a quick review. So that's what the P stands for. So if we have any parentheses, we're going to start there. Obviously, in this problem, we don't have any parentheses. Let's move on to E. E stands for powers. Now, E, the actual letter, stands for exponents. So let's just take a quick review here. So if I have 2 to the third power, okay, what does this mean? Well, it means take 2 and multiply it by itself 3 times. Well, this is a power, but this part of the power up here, this little number, is called the exponent, and this bottom number down here is called the base. So E stands for exponents, but it implies powers. So if you have any powers, you're going to want to do those next. Now, obviously, in this particular problem, we don't have any powers, so this doesn't apply. But if we did have powers, we would have to do them in this order. Okay, so here is where so many people make mistakes when it comes to the order of operations. So let me just tell you what the rest of these letters stand for. So M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. Now, I am telling you that this is a checklist that goes from left to right, so it makes sense that someone would interpret this as, all right, the next thing I'm going to do is multiplication. And then after all the multiplication is done, I'll move on to any division. Then once that's done, I'll move on to addition, and then I'll move on to subtraction. That is absolutely logical. It makes sense, but unfortunately, that's not the way this works. Now, a lot of you might be saying, hey, Mr. YouTube Math Man, you're confusing me here because you're just telling me this is a checklist from left to right. Yes, indeed, but again, this is an area in math where a lot of people confuse. So this is the way it actually works, okay? So the first two things are correct. We're going to do our parentheses. We're going to look for parentheses, and we're going to take care of any powers. But these two here are actually groups, okay? So the M and D stand for, you're going to do multiplication or division, whatever you see first from left to right. So if we have multiplication, then division from left to right will go this way. But if we have division, then multiplication, we have to take care of the division, then the multiplication. So this is a group, and the addition and subtraction work the same way. It's whatever we see first from left to right. Now, that should be a big clue in terms of where we're going to start because we don't have any parentheses, we don't have any powers, but we definitely have some multiplication and division. So you need to think to yourself, hey, what is this guy going to do next? Well, you know what I'm going to do next because I'm going to show you this right now. We're going to go through our lovely little checklist. All right, no parentheses in the problem, no powers, but I do have some multiplication and division. So what comes first from left to right? Well, clearly the division comes first before the multiplication. So this is what I have to do next, okay, or do first. So it's going to be 12 divided by -3. Okay, so this particular part of the problem is where a lot of people make mistakes with, in basic math or simplifying numeric expressions. So don't feel bad if you got this wrong because now you know what not to do. And in future problems, you'll do these problems correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of this. 12 divided by -3 is what? Well, 12 divided by -3 is -4. And the rule for multiplication and division of positive negative numbers are super easy. If the signs are different, now here we have a positive number and here we have a negative number. If the signs are different, the answer is always going to be negative. Okay, it's super easy. So a positive divided by a negative, answer is negative. If we had a negative divided by a positive, answer is going to be negative. If we have a positive times a negative, answer is negative. If we had a negative times a positive, answer is negative because we had different signs. So anytime there are different signs for multiplication and division, the rules are the same. The answer is always negative. Of course, when the signs are the same, the answers are positive. So negative times a negative is positive, and negative divided by a negative is also positive. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So we have 12 divided by -3, which of course is -4. All right, so, this is looking pretty easy, hopefully, from this point forward. So here is our problem. And again, we always want to be thinking about this PEMDAS acronym. So we did all the parentheses, there's powers. So did we do all the multiplication division? No, we just took care of that one division, but we still have some multiplication left. So that's what we're going to have to handle next. So we have -4 times -5, which of course, you should know the answer to because I just explained how to multiply positive and negative numbers. So let's go and take the next step, which of course is having you quickly subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love making these math videos. I try to make them entertaining to some degree. I definitely don't like to teach math in a way that sounds like a drone or robot or a textbook, okay? That's why a lot of people don't like math. They're just like, I don't like math. It's so boring. I have to take this boring math class. Well, listen, math teachers, or any good teacher in any subject, try to make the material, interesting and bring it to life. Right? And it's not always so easy. And when it comes to the order of operations, it can be a bit of a challenge to make the, material fun and, engaging. But that's what I try to do. And if you are trying to improve in mathematics, well, I want to encourage you to check out my full course instructions. You can see all my courses or my main courses. You'll find links to those in the description of this video. But if you don't understand something like this problem and you are, trying to learn math, if you need to learn math, well, you need to do something about it. And the way to do something about it, the way to learn math is first you need to get yourself some instruction. Just don't try to do problems like this. Get yourself some instruction, in other words, a lesson on the topic, okay? Once you have some great instruction, full comprehensive, not a quick tutorial, like a really fully explained, lesson on the material, then you need to start practicing. You got to practice, and you have to practice a wide variety of problems, easy problems, kind of mid-level problems, and then very difficult type of problems. So that's the only way you're going to master a skill. So anyways, in my YouTube channel is all about supporting you on your math journey, all right? So I need your help, though, and the best way you can support my work is to hit that subscribe button, and if you're going to do that, you might as well hit that notification bell as well. Okay, so let's go and finish this problem up. So again, we are always keeping this PEMDAS in mind, no parentheses, no powers, multiplication, division. Yes, we had division. We took care of that because it came first from left to right, and now I got to take care of this multiplication. All right, so -4 times 5, we have a negative times a positive, right? Negative times positive, the answer is going to be negative. So 4 times 5 is 20, but this is going to be -20. And now we can, whoops, whoa, I went too far down here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let me get control of myself. All right, so now we're down to this right here. We have negative 34 plus negative 20. Now we are down to adding positive and negative numbers. Now, of course, you can see the answer is negative 54, and you have a negative 34 plus a negative 20, and the answer is negative 54. So what is the rule here when you're adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers? Well, I'm not going to go into the full thing here, but one of the best ways you can learn how to add and subtract positive and negative numbers is to think of money, okay? So negative numbers is like having debt, and positive numbers is like having money. Let me give you a simple example. Before we, look at the final answer here. So if you have $7, okay, you have $7 in your pocket. Well, that's a great feeling. And let's suppose your friend comes up to you and says, "Hey, you remember I gave you $5 last week? You owe me that $5." Well, you have $5 in debt, right? So the question mathematically would be equivalent to this, 7 plus negative 5. You have $7, but you also owe $5, 7 plus negative 5. So what is your financial situation? Well, you'd give out of your $7, you'd pay back your friend because you're just a good friend like that, and you'd be left with what? Well, you'd still have $2 to your name. So 7 plus negative 5 is positive 2. Right, so hopefully that makes sense. Now let's just kind of switch this around a little bit, and let's suppose you owe someone $7. Okay, now you're like, oh boy, I owe someone, but I only have $5. Now this person comes up to you and says, "Hey, give me back my $7." You're like, "Well, I can't give you back your entire $7 because I only have $5, but I'll give you my $5, but I still owe you $2. Okay, so my financial situation is my debt now has decreased from negative 7 down to negative 2. All right, so again, how you learn math, who's teaching you math, makes a huge difference in your ability to be successful in math. And I suspect a lot of you are like, "Boy, I never really understood that, but this Mr. YouTube Math Man made this so much easier for me to understand." And that's what it's all about, okay? If you're confused in math, you got to find someone to teach you in a way you like and understand, because this stuff is not too complex. It's certainly not beyond what you can understand. Okay, so now let's go ahead and answer this question. So we have negative 34. It's like having negative $34 bill or debt, and then we have another negative $20 debt, or we owe two people, this person $34 and this person $20. So altogether we have $54 in debt, or negative 54. So negative plus a negative is a negative. Okay, so don't feel bad if you didn't get any of this right. All my videos are intended to just, be a check for understanding. In other words, kind of a little pop quiz so you can kind of see what you know and don't know, because, you can't improve in anything unless you kind of gauge or take an inventory of your current level, right? So what is your current math level? Well, you could take a, real, professionally set up diagnostics exam, but I don't think that's necessary. The best way to kind of know whether you understand a lot of math is do a lot of prompts. And if you get the problems right, well, that's a pretty good indication that you know what you're doing. If you're getting a lot of problems wrong, well, that's an indication that you need to review. Okay, so hopefully this little video was helpful in some way. And if that was the case, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your math adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.